Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of We Outside After Work. I am your host, Dana. And as you can see, Aaron is not here today. We have Jabbar.
Yes.
Second best co-host out here.
With the clapping and the sound effects. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
So, just want to start off. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good today.
Okay.
It's Saturday, as far as I can remember. Yeah, I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, as you guys could see, we have some drinks here that we got from Ringside in Jersey City. If you live in New Jersey, you know what Ringside is.
Nah, I didn't know.
He didn't know what Ringside is, and he lives in Newark. So, for those of you that don't know, like, Ringside is a very popular place. Like, if you go there, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a hole in the wall. Like,
but those are the best spots.
Those do.
Yeah.
It's like at the corner of, I don't know the highways, but like when you walk in, there's tons of pictures with different celebrities, and they have a drink menu that's crazy. Like, these are the size of the drinks that you get, and they're always super strong. I got the pina colada. What'd you get?
I got the Long Island, but that's just like my go-to drink.
Oh.
That's just me personally. Like, if I go anywhere, it's Long Island, because I don't know what to order.
I feel like that's basic, though.
It is. You call me basic. but
it's okay. It's okay if you're basic, to be honest. Yeah. Like, it's cool, but I feel like you kind of have to step outside of your comfort zone and step outside your element sometimes. Like,
yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. So, with that being said, so earlier today, just to give y'all some background, earlier today, me and Jabbar, we did a photo shoot, and it was mainly me helping him out because he does have his own photography business, and he hit me up on Instagram like, hey, we did a photo shoot prior in the summertime. Like, we did a sportswear.
For wellness, that's right, yeah.
Yes. So, what was the guy's name for that?
I see Mill.
Okay, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Mill. That's right. Wellness.
Yeah, so
active.
I may or may not put his stuff in the description
because we can't.
I don't get paid for that.
Yeah. Shout out that we said his name.
Yeah. Anyway, we did a photo shoot for him back in August.
Yeah.
It was August or July.
I know it was hot.
Yeah. It was nonetheless, it was summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was summertime.
I think it was July though.
Yeah, it was at a park. It was at a skate park.
It was a skating park.
And it was hot as fuck. Anyway, that's how we met. We ended up connecting on Instagram, and then we did the photo shoot earlier today. And when I got to the photo shoot, I was pretty stressed, and I couldn't find someone to do the podcast because the co-host, Aaron, like, he has a lot of personal things going on in his life, which is understandable, but we still need to be consistent and drop some episodes. So, telling Jabbar about all of my life issues, and then we instantly like clicked though. Like, we end up just telling each other like a whole bunch of like life stuff. Yeah. Like, when it comes to just dating, personal situations, stuff like that. So then he tells me about how he just did Fashion Week for the first time as a photographer and his experience with that, which I do want to get into.
Yeah.
So prior to you actually doing a photo shoot at Fashion Week, like, did you want to always do that, or like,
as far as like photography?
Yes. So how did that come? How did that even come about with like, you being a photographer?
Oh, you know what? I think.
Yeah, photographer in general.
Just photographer in general.
Yes.
It was during when COVID hit.
Okay.
And I think when COVID hit, I think that's when it really kind of gave. I guess I can speak from my own personal experiences that it kind of like made me reevaluate life. So I kind of like looked at things differently, and I said, let me take this time to, maybe dive into something I really want to do. Okay,
so you've always been interested in photography?
You know what? No, actually, it was acting. So yeah.
What?
Yeah, so certain things I didn't tell you.
See, like,
I try to wait.
But you told me you were like real nervous. Guys, he did not want to do the podcast because he was so nervous and he thought he would just freeze up.
No, seriously. I'm a beginner at this.
Which is fine, but you want to be an actor.
Yeah, that was always a passion. And the reason why acting was a passion because I felt like I've been through so many things that I could reenact those experiences. and express myself through acting. So it was always acting. So I feel like, you know, from when you start off as an actor, it's usually like you have to work your way up. You have to go to auditions. You got to do this. And sometimes it's financially.
You don't have to do classes, though? Like,
yes.
You don't, okay.
And I did classes.
Oh, you did acting classes already.
But my plan was like, you know what? Let me get something that's in the related field and work my way around. So I was like, you know, photography is like right there.
Yeah, it's on the cusp. Yep. It's
so
about the same industry.
If I get behind the camera, eventually I get in front of the camera.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's how I've always been. But I fell in love with photography, and I'm not saying I wouldn't get back into acting. It's just that I started finding the passion in acting. I mean,
in photography.
And
so you're kind of using it as your way to get into that industry. Yeah. Basically, like, is it through like connecting with people that you shoot or going to different events and networking?
It is through that.
Socializing.
And you know what, honestly, you know what, the plan was to get back into acting, but honestly I fell in love with it. I fell in love with just trying to like have a set goal and trying to like be the best in whatever it is I do. Okay. I don't know exactly where it's going to take me, but that's the plan. Yeah.
I feel you.
That's the plan. We're going to see what happens. Yeah. I still got passion for acting.
Your future is bright. Like, you got a ways to go. Like, you're just getting started. Yeah. So, I did just want to bring it back to Fashion Week. How did that even start? Like, how did you even get a chance
the Fashion Week
to be a part of Fashion Week? And that's New York Fashion Week.
Okay, keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Keep it real.
I saw.
Hey.
My man doing his job. Sorry if I'm laughing too much.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. Not to hit the truth. Fashion Week. Honestly, I signed up for an ad that I saw on Instagram. It was the Runway 7. It was like photographers wanted Fashion Week. I signed up for it. Now, I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
But eventually, they did contact me back and said that, you know, we love your work and we would like to be a part of this Fashion Week. And, you know, they said they'll send you your press pass. And that's the email that I got. And this was like months ahead of Fashion Week. I didn't know what I was getting really into. And, you know, that's how I kind of like really got into it.
Okay, so fast forward to the day of. You got all your equipment, you walking down the New York streets, and you ready to go, like you ready to work.
Yeah.
So when you get to your first show, what's the environment like? Because I've never been to Fashion Week. To be honest, I never wanted to be in that world. Prior to the podcast, I've always been behind the scenes. Like, I've always been a behind the scenes person.
Yeah.
And like, that's just with my career and just things that like, yes, I had a YouTube channel. I mentioned that in a couple episodes ago, but like, I've never really wanted to be front and center and be that person that like you see the face of things. Like, that's just never been me. So, like, just the whole, like, fashion industry and any of that, like, I don't know what that looks like or what that entails. So, what was your experience that day of just, because it is chaotic, right? Like, just people running around, like, making sure, like, models have clothes on and, like, things like look a certain way. Like, what was your experience? Because I only know based off, like, shows that I've seen, like Project Runway and shit like that.
From my experience, anyway, when I arrived on time, I think my availability was like from 1 o'clock, but I didn't know 1 o'clock was like maybe one of the biggest shows. So it was Naeem Khan, if anybody knows who he is, which I'm pretty sure he's like a big designer. And when I first got there was a line that was like
get into the show.
Get into the show. So this line was kind of going like a few buildings down.
Damn.
So I stood in the line.
Why?
Like a dumbass, wait. I'm like, wait a minute.
You're working the show.
I know. I didn't. Look, it's my first show. Let me stand to this line and.
So you better than me. I don't like my patience level for anything is like here. Like anything that requires a line, anything that I have to wait on people. Right. Like I'm cutting the line. Like even when I was in high school, like I'm cutting the lunch line. Like I'm not waiting.
Wait, the lunch line?
The lunch line. Like, I'm not waiting for nothing. Like, and that's kind of been a detriment in my personal life, but that's not near here or there, right?
Yeah.
So, like, why did you feel like you had to wait?
No, that's just me. I'm like, let me get in this line.
Oh,
I think
so
it's
you
just
have
your first
patience.
reaction. I'm like, my first reaction is just like, let me stand in the line with everybody else. Then
But you
after
gotta
a few
pass.
minutes, right? After a few minutes, I started thinking. Sometimes I'm a little slow to react.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what?
That's
I see
understandable.
photographers taking pictures. I got my camera. I'm like, what am I doing? So let me just walk up and ask security. Like, I have like a pass. I was
Right.
like, do I need to stand in this line? It was like, oh no, like get your pass and sit over there. Sit over in the waiting area.
Okay.
So I sat over there in the waiting area, which they had like nice food, and it was with the other photographers, and we was like mingling.
So
Yeah.
how long was it that like did you have to like prepare prior to like shooting? Like, did it take a while for like the show to start? Like once you're there, like tell us about that.
Oh, the show was already going on.
So it was already going on.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
didn't let us go downstairs because there was so many people.
What was
The show was
downstairs
packed.
though?
So this designer was a big designer,
Okay.
and there were so many people in there. I don't think
Were
they
there
let.
celebrities?
There were. Oh yes, Ryan Seacrest was
Okay.
there. So it could have been a reason why they limit the people that were going to eat in there.
He's like a B-level celebrity.
So what?
I'm
They
talking
still-
about like, wasn't Nicki Minaj up in here?
You know, if she was in there, I didn't know.
Okay.
Like, I
Because I
swear-
feel like you could see the celebrities like sitting front and center.
Yeah, but you know what though? Sometimes like seeing them on like, you know, on TV and then seeing them in person, you're like, is that who I think it is? And then I don't know. That's me.
Oh.
So maybe it was like people there that I didn't
So you
recognize.
don't know them.
Yeah,
That's why.
I'm pretty sure it was like people there I didn't recognize.
Okay.
Like straight up, but you know, once I got down there, I just went straight backstage.
Okay. What was
Which-
backstage like?
Backstage was cool because I felt like nobody stopped me. So
Did you see like naked women like getting dressed and stuff like
I
that?
wish.
Like,
I didn't. They stopped it past a certain point, so you couldn't go like where the dressing rooms were.
Oh.
But I was where the models were lining up to go on the runway, so I was able to get
I've
shots
seen
there.
Top Model, and like it just seems like once you get backstage, like people are like ripping clothes off models, like
Yeah.
throw this on, and like so you didn't see none of that.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that. They limited the photographers from going back there.
Yeah.
Like when I was back there, it was like, is anybody like getting dressed or undressed? And it was like, no. They was like, okay, you could be back
That
there.
makes sense.
Yeah, they
'Cause you
definitely
don't-
was a respect with it. They didn't
you
like
don't
have you go
wanna,
back
like,
there.
see like pictures of yourself online.
No,
like,
no.
of the models.
I
you
was
know what
like
mean?
behind the runway itself when I was back there.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't press my luck trying to go in the dressing room. I didn't do that.
Yeah, nah, that's some creep shit.
I'm not trying to get kicked out. No.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna escort you out because this is crazy.
No, I want to come back next year. So.
Yeah. All right. So like, how did you feel after that show?
After the show, I mean,
Like, did you feel like, wow, like I did something to really help my career? Like I networked a lot.
Yeah.
Like, was this like a pivotal point for me to just like excel with what I'm doing? Like this is really like that kind of solidified like I'm doing what I want to do, and like this is the path that I want to be on. Like
Yeah.
was that moment for you?
Yeah, definitely for sure. There was a moment where I was actually, and maybe it was like the last night that I was there. And there's like what they call the photographer's pit, and it's where all the photographers are. Like the main photographers, what they call the house photographers, they were there and they was catching like the straight on shots. So it was like almost like a fight to get those seats. You know what I mean? If you're like a nobody photographer, you like, you know, just go on the side somewhere. If you're like the house photographer, you're there and you're like front row. So I was able to like kind of like get in, like kind of like last minute, and somebody was nice enough to let me sit next to them. So I was actually able to get there like the front row seat. And it was like just for like maybe a brief moment where I felt like I was where I was supposed to be.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Yeah, because I feel like
Just-
those are the shots that you do see in magazines,
It's
on websites,
that
and
runway.
on Vogue and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you want that straight on like
Yeah.
model.
Not saying that like angles like play part too,
I
but
think angles are important in photography, right?
But it was hard to get there because all the photographers was already there.
Because they know that. Like that's probably. Do you feel like there's a hierarchy in photography, like
Yeah.
from that experience?
Yeah. I mean, they had their photographers that they definitely relied on to get certain shots, and then they had people that was just like, oh, you could take pictures over there. Not saying that we all didn't do our part, but definitely like what experience and who you are definitely plays a part.
Okay.
But I still have a lot to learn. It was a lot of nice photographers that I connected with. Really nice people. It was a good group of people, I could say. Definitely.
Okay.
I connected with, yeah.
So back to you actually going to the fashion show.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had to build yourself up and give yourself that confidence
Like a pep
to
talk?
actually do it? Yes. Because from what it sounds like, you were stepping outside of your box, like doing something for the first time that you've never done before. Like, do you feel like you had to mentally prepare yourself to go and like talk to people, socialize? Like, what did that look like? And what does that conversation?
What did that look like? That's me in the mirror saying like, "Yo, you shit." You know, I think.
No, I do that.
But sometimes you have to like really do that with yourself.
Yeah, like
you gotta like tell yourself like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill it today. I live life like one day at a time, and it's like I'm gonna do my best today, regardless of what happens." And I think that's what I did. I don't remember exactly what the conversation I had with myself was, but I know I went out and saying, you know, I'm gonna try to be confident in what I do. You know,
because I feel like confidence is important. Like you, even in like the business world, like the corporate world, which I hate going back to, but that's just like my day to day that I deal with. Like, there's a lot of people in these higher up positions that are like directors, CIOs and coordinators that I've worked with, and just based off simple conversation, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, how did you get this job? Just because like the confidence they exude and the just confidence within themselves and the way they can just talk about nothing and just make it sound good so that other people can believe it. So I feel like, to be honest, if you don't necessarily know like the ins and outs of what you're doing or what you want to get into, if you keep telling yourself like, yo, you got this, like you're gonna figure it out, like just stay positive and believe in yourself, like stuff like that really goes a long way. Because I do that in the mornings. Like, let's say I have a meeting during the week that I know I'm gonna be talking to like these higher up people, and at work, like I am looked at as like the bottom of the totem pole. Like, not really the bottom, but like I'm not no executive person at my job. So when it comes to like these meetings that I'm about to have these days, I'm like, I literally talk to myself in the mornings like, you're a Black queen, you got this, like you're confident, like you're in this room for a reason, like don't let these men, because they are white men and they try to make you feel less than, and they don't even do it like on purpose, but I just feel like they're just so disconnected with what's going on and like being a minority and like being a woman and what we deal with that they cannot relate. And just to have to deal with that and kind of like fake it till you make it, in a sense, I have to build up that mental confidence for me to even just deal with them on a day-to-day.
Yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, queen.
Hey.
You remind me of when Jay-Z, one of his raps, he was like, he could sell water to a well. It's the kind of confidence I need.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have that though? Like,
you know what?
Or do you feel like it's coming? Like it's
I feel like I'm building myself up to it.
Okay.
I feel like one of my biggest struggles in life was confidence. Honestly, you know, I've been through like so much in my life that I felt like it was always confidence that was like the foundation of like why I didn't push forward with things.
Okay. So,
but yeah,
give us an example of a time. It sounds like an interview. I'm like, give us an example. I call myself because I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm in the process of looking for another job, and that's like one of the situational conversations they'll ask. Like, tell us about a time when blah blah blah. But no, on a serious note, like, when was the time that you feel like if you had the confidence that you have today, you would have been in a better position to deal with that situation back then?
Yeah, you know. There's so many situations where I felt like if I had confidence, especially when it comes to like women, that's like one of the. I'm not going to dive into that.
Let's get into it.
No, I ain't getting into that. Me and my friends talk about that a lot. A lot of times it was when it came to women that I felt like I wish I had more confidence in who I was. And I felt like things would have went further when it came to certain females. But on a different level, I felt like with myself, when I went to the New York Film Academy, and
that's pretty prestigious too.
Yeah. It's you know what? Yeah.
It's a very prestigious.
I went there, and when I was done with the course that I took, they told us right away, all right, what you do from here, you go on auditions, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the confidence to go on auditions.
Okay.
And so I feel like if I had more confidence. So
you just did not do the, like.
When it came to
happened?
Acting, it was never like that I got no's. And they tell you, like, you get like 1,000 no's before you get a yes.
I heard that in acting.
I just never took those shots. Remember we was talking about it before? Like, with the shots. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
I never took the shots. I was like...
Why didn't you, though? Like,
nah.
You just felt like you wasn't... Like, were you talking yourself out of things before even giving yourself a chance to try it? Or
That's
you
a
just
good
didn't even
question.
show up? Because you're like, why would I show up?
One of them I didn't show up. Like the first casting that I applied for, I got like a call back, come out and audition. I just didn't go.
Mm-hmm. You wilding with the tapping. I'm hearing that in my But okay, so you
the very first one I didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go.
Wow.
And and I could say it was like circumstances. I could say it was like things I was going through at the time.
Like personal life stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And sometimes that stuff interfere. Mm-hmm. Like even like through high school, I went through high school like before they had like uniforms. So high school for me was rough.
I never went to high school uniforms. Like I always went to a public high school.
Right. So
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm not even gonna lie. When I was like, I didn't know that there were schools that were like middle schools and high schools that required uniforms. I truly only thought that was like a elementary school thing.
Yeah.
But when I started to like have friends that went to like Catholic or like private schools and stuff like that, they was like, no, we wore uniforms. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Like I always went to public school. Like I didn't know that. But in public school, thank God, like we don't go to school like high school nowadays. Everybody is dripped in designer. Like in high school.
What?
Yes. So in high school, like I was that girl that wore like South Pole, Rockaway, Baby Fat. Yeah, like, and we used to shop at Foreman Mills. Yeah, like every school year, my dad would take me and my brother to Foreman Mills. My brother had his cart. I had my cart. I would go on one side of the store, and then he would go on like the guy side of the store. And then we would probably be there for maybe like 2 hours because I'm trying on my clothes. I'm like, my first day outfits are about to hit, right? So I wanted to make sure.
I'm trying shit.
So no, like I was trying everything on.
Yeah.
And I would always have like a cart full of clothes because like this was just like our annual thing we would do. And my dad, like, he was just so, I don't know what's wrong with him, but like he's one of those people where he'll like kind of like just have like an outburst. He'll be like, oh, this is too much stuff. I told you to get like 3 things. And I have like a cart full of shit. I'm like, you said 3 things, but I'm getting what I want. Like I was one of those people. Mm-hmm. And because I always knew that when we got to the freaking cashier, I'd be like, do you want me to put something back? And he'd be like, no, just keep it. So I'm like, so what the hell is the point of you acting crazy? So, anyway, back to my point. It's like in high school, like I was just always that person that was just like that was just the time that we were in, right? But like back to the confidence thing, like I knew that I didn't have like the latest like Jordans or like anything like that when it comes to like sneakers, because that was a big thing as well, like the type of shoes you wore. So I think I wore like K-Swiss, and I had one pair of like nice Dunks. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know which ones they were, but they were nice. But this is a bad example.
No, I couldn't get that. This is before. No, my year in high school was like terrible because my mom. Yeah.
Oh, that brings me back to the whole point I was making, that like we just wore whatever we wanted to like express ourselves in public school. So like I never went to a school that required uniforms. That was the point I was making.
Oh yeah. No, I was like the same era though.
Yeah,
it was just that it was rough for me because like my family couldn't afford it. So. Mm-hmm.
But that's why we went to Foreman Mills, because everything was cheap.
These motherfuckers can't even afford Foreman Mills. Man.
Oh, I don't know the prices now, but
I mean, it was cheap enough, but you know what though?
For the shirts that I used, like, because female clothes are always more affordable anyway way than guys' clothes. So like the shirts used to be like $3 or $4. So that's why I would always get a lot of shit too. It's because like everything to me seemed like mad cheap. And I'm like, oh, my dad's gonna pay for it. Like, I know he's gonna be upset when I show him my cart, but he's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
So like I kind of have that mindset now, like to myself, where like I don't really say no to myself, because I'm like, like I can afford it, but should I get all this shit? Probably not, because it doesn't make sense financially.
Nah, now I get it.
Yeah. So you tell yourself like, yo, I need to, like, do you have a budget? Because I feel like budgets are important.
Do I have a budget? I do. Like now I kind of be a little bit more aware of what I'll try to buy. Because I have pieces that I'll buy and then don't wear. You spend like some hundreds of dollars on something.
I know,
like,
I never experienced that.
Yeah, I bought jackets that was like hundreds of dollars and then just never wear it.
Why don't you wear it?
I don't know. I bought it because I thought it looked nice at the moment. Then I wear it one time and then don't wear it after that. So I was like,
I do that with clothes, like, but it don't cost hundreds of dollars. Like I'll buy something, like I'll buy something because I'm like, oh, this is a piece that I want to have in my closet, and I'll wear it like maybe like once and then never wear it again. Yeah. But I think like to me, balance is important. So before I buy more stuff, like I always donate at least like a bag of clothes from my closet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that donate too. I ain't donating. No, I'm joking. No.
And it clears space too. Like instead of throwing things out, or like you keep looking at something that's like, oh, I'm gonna wear this, knowing damn well you'll never wear it. It's like, I'm gonna just donate this because I'm about to buy more shit anyway.
No. My pops, he's from Jamaica, so when he goes to Jamaica, he brings stuff from Jamaica there. So I always give him like shoes. I give him like clothes. Like, here, take this. Maybe like shoes I wore like once. Okay. You know what I mean? So.
So, my ex, his family would always, because he was Haitian, so his family would like ship boxes of stuff to Haiti. Is that a thing that like Jamaicans do? Is that like a Caribbean culture thing?
I think so. Don't quote me on it because he ain't here. But I do. Like what I do is like he'll go and he'll have his suitcase because he's not like trying to spend like extra money on the flight. But I give him something and he'll take like what he can without it weighing over a certain amount.
Yeah,
and
over 50 pounds.
And give it to. He usually give it to someone. Okay. It'd be clothes. It'd be shoes. If he could take more, he usually take more. But yeah, anytime I got something, I'll give it to him and he'll take it there. Okay. So that's I always.
So that like helps out the family.
Yeah, I never give him, and it's just me. I never give him like nothing worn out. I always give something I will still wear myself. Like, yo, take this. I'm not wearing it, but take
you don't want to give like donate stuff with like holes in it. We could curse on here too, guys.
Could we?
I'm trying to,
Shit.
I'm trying to censor myself.
Shit.
Because like my grandma watches my
Sorry,
stuff.
Grandma.
So.
Love you, Grandma.
I don't really, but she curses a lot.
Does
she got a YouTube channel.
Oh, we got it from Grandma then.
Yeah, she got a whole YouTube channel that she talks.
My grandma was a good cusser when she got mad.
She be cursing. Yeah. But okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on to the importance of networking. Cause all day today, guys, like when we first got here, Jabbar is asking for Instagrams and just like business cards and stuff like that, which is dope. Don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like when you have a business, especially a photography business, like word of mouth and you just like talking and just saying like, hey, I'm a photographer. Like, people always need pictures taken, whether it's for like their business, like their podcast studios, weddings, events and stuff like that. So like, I think it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So like, why do you think networking is important? And obviously it is, but like from your experience, how has it helped you accelerate,
what they say, closed mouth don't get fed.
Hey, exactly.
But you know what though, like, honestly, like not everybody's gonna like connect the way you want to, but it doesn't hurt just to say like, hey, let me get your Instagram. You never know what they say. What's that saying? Like, ask.
Don't ask me. I don't know no sayings.
It's like, all right, I don't like live by exact sayings, but there's certain things that I do see that I get results from. Okay. Not everything doesn't work out exactly, but you never know unless you kind of try. So I never know what may happen if I connect with this person, or this person may connect with this person, or like my sis say, she's like, she used to say like, you're like 5 people away from knowing Denzel. Like,
ooh, that's
it's like a 5-person rule.
I like that.
Like, there's like 2 people away from you that knows LeBron. or somebody like that.
That's a good metaphor.
You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah, because you never know, like, who will end up with your business card, or like, oh, they would reference you for something, like, oh,
Exactly.
I know Jabbar, he like has his photography like here,
Yeah.
and then you're doing like Jeff Bezos' wedding.
Exactly. Like 5 people away. And you
Right.
just, this person knows. So it's like, you know, I try to connect the dots.
I think it's
try to,
vital. Like, I think networking is
for
vital.
nowadays, yeah.
Yes.
I try. I'm not really. I'm a very shy person, honestly. I grew up
keep
shy.
saying he's shy.
I grew up so shy.
I have not seen that
and
all day.
So like,
You've been like,
because it's Long Island, but
since I pulled up to the photo shoot earlier, you've been talking my head off, like in a good way.
But,
in a good way though, to where like we're constantly having conversations. So to say that you're shy, I'm like, where?
I have moments where I feel like I should have said something and I didn't. And one of my biggest things is like regretting that, damn, I should have did this. Or I should have like gave this person my card.
So
like,
have you had a lot of moments like that in the
yeah.
past?
Like, let's say for instance, if I saw you and I'm like, damn, I should have gave you my card, that would eat me up more than you saying no. Like, here's my card. You'd be like, nah, but at least I know you said no.
Exactly. At least you like
let me get that
tried.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then move on. At least I can move on. But I'm like, damn, I should have said something.
Because I feel like nowadays with social media, because information gets shared so easily, like just giving out your Instagram, usually if you have a business, you do have social medias.
Yeah.
Like that is just such an easier way to just, you know, make sure you stay in contact with people and even like communicate with them. Because people are always checking their social media. So like shooting a little DM or like, hey, I see you have this event. Like, do you need a photographer for this or whatever the case? Like, just shooting your shot, so to speak.
Yeah.
In a business sense.
And that was one of the things in Fashion Week. I connected with so many like professionals, like professional models too. Like these.
You tagged a lot of them too on your Instagram page.
Yes, a lot of people. That was one experience. Like a lot of them DM me, and I was like, oh shit, my DM blowing up. Like, you know what I mean? So
the models was hitting you up. Like,
but everybody
was cute.
No,
no, they're
straight
tall.
business. Like, yo,
Yeah.
you got pictures of me? Can I get those pictures?
Yeah.
So I was
Oh,
like,
that's all they was asking
That's
for?
what it was.
Okay.
Do you have pictures of me? Can I get these pictures? And I'm like, yeah, of course. You know, not the asking for anything in return, but I'm like, you know what? I'm connected with this person. You never know how I might meet with this person later on. So yeah, of course, I'll give you the work right now. I may be able to charge you later, but
yeah. No, it's important.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. No, like networking is definitely important, especially if you have a business.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. Yeah, it was.
All right, let me just see other topics that we have here, because guys, this was last minute. Like, I literally made this outline like 30 minutes prior to us starting this episode. So excuse me for looking down at my phone.
No, it's all good. You got really nice nails too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is it gray?
Yeah, it still got a little like ketchup on it because we had
because of the fries at ringside.
Ketchup and wings. We have fries and wings.
Yeah.
Ugh, that drink is getting to me.
No, I know. The ringside was really cool. It got like
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was talking about like all the pictures I saw at ringside with Mike Tyson and what's that other boxer name? Rocky Marciano. So a lot of them there. I know you was telling me it was like a famous spot that I just never been to.
Yeah.
So that was it.
So I do just want to segue into movies and shows, because I feel like I want that to be a segment on the podcast every week. Like I haven't solidified this with my co-host, but I watch a lot of movies and a lot of shows. Do you watch a lot of movies and shows?
You know what? I watch like weird genres of movies, but
like what?
Oh man, I watch like sci-fi.
Me too.
I watch a lot of like fantasy, maybe like action.
Okay.
Some drama a little bit, but like.
What's the last thing that you've watched?
The last thing probably was an old movie. What was the last thing I watched? Total Recall. I don't even know if you know what that is. You know what that is?
I've seen that, yes.
What, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes. And he was like on the Mars.
Oh, shit, you see that?
On Mars.
Yeah. Oh, wow,
yes.
yeah.
I've seen that when I was like a child. Okay, so...
Yeah, Total Recall, man.
We're not talking about Total Recall, though.
Oh, I'm about to go into it like, yo, let me tell you. No, go ahead.
But I recently went to the movies by myself last weekend because I just started doing things alone. Like, I don't want to just wait for people to experience things that I want to do.
She went to the movies alone.
Yeah, and it may seem little, like the smallest thing, but like just doing that to me is like stepping outside my comfort zone and stepping outside the box. So the last thing I saw was The Woman King.
Oh, how was that? I didn't see it yet.
Oh my God. Like, I'm not even gassing. It was the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I want to see it again. The premise of the movie was there was this, and I'm not going to give out too much information because I don't want this to be a spoiler alert if you have not seen it. And clearly you have not seen it. It was based in West Africa during the slave trade and when like slavery was still going on. And they were getting a lot, like the British were coming from Europe to Africa to basically like trade slaves. So there was this civilization called Dahomey tribe. And they had these women who were like warriors who would like protect, like they were guy warriors too, but like there was like these women who were like well known in Africa to like protect the kingdom. And there was Viola Davis and a few other like big name actress in it who I don't know their names, but nonetheless, like it was just a great movie. Like just their action scenes and like just like the premise of the movie, and there's like so many underlining messages that I feel like not only every Black person should see it, but I feel like every person of color should see it, so that you kind of know that like, yes, your country was colonized, but just watching this and just seeing like just the messages of the movie, it's like, damn, like it's very emotional too. Like I almost cried like 3 times.
Wow.
But I was holding back my tears, so I'm like, I'm not about to sit in the fucking movie theater crying like and I'm by myself. No. But
I definitely had a tear going on. Like,
yeah, no, it was so
watching?
dope. Yeah, it was so dope. And like I just took a lot from the movie to where like it made me think about my history, because like being a Black American, I don't necessarily know my heritage. Like I don't know where my family like comes from as far as like country. Like obviously I'm Black, but like I don't know if my family comes from like Jamaica or like a certain island in the Caribbean. Like I don't know that. So I feel like most times they try to have Black people think that like you started after slavery. You know what I mean? Just because like a lot of their information was just like lost and not given because like it was a sense of control. Like if you don't know who you are or where you come from, like it's easier to control a race when they don't know their background. So to see a movie where like we were like warriors and like kings and we come from royalty prior to slavery, like it was just like a huge like I just can't explain it. It was just an unexplainable feeling. So I definitely recommend seeing it if you have not.
And I heard it's like based off like a true story.
It is.
Yeah.
They said a couple of things are different, but like for the most part, them being like a tribe, not a tribe, but like just women who were like strong warriors. And apparently the actors like Viola Davis and the other ones, like they trained for 6 months for that role, like doing like martial arts and making sure their bodies were in shape because they did do a lot of their own like stunts. Yeah, like it's such an emotional movie that like I could probably see it like 100 times and like pick something new from the movie because there's just so much going on.
I have to like check that out.
Yeah.
When I was in Egypt, there was one queen.
He was in Egypt.
No, not like my only trip. Like my only like trip. But there was a pharaoh queen, was it? And forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's
I don't know, so
Hatshepsut.
Don't tell me if you're wrong.
It was in Aswan. It was Hatshepsut, but she was the one of the women pharaohs, if I'm getting the information right. But when you go there, there's her temple, and it was like, let's not talk about how hot it was. It's a different kind of hot in Africa. Yeah. But going up there,
it's a desert.
Yeah. That's a whole different story. But it's definitely an experience. You need to like go there yourself. But
who is that? Like who is that?
Hatshepsut. So you know what? You probably have to like really look it up because I can't say exactly. I don't know the details.
Okay.
What I do remember is that when I went up there, the statues which they pointed out, they were like feminine. and you can see that the sculptures of the temple were in her face. Okay. So I don't know if the movie is based off of her or maybe based off another like ruler, the queen from that time period. But
are you saying that like she was a reference for the movie?
I think I heard something about that, but it could be. I could be wrong. It just reminds me of that. Okay. It was also, just
you don't really hear about like women pharaohs.
Yeah,
like, I didn't know there were women pharaohs.
Yeah. Okay. Hatshepsut, if I'm saying it right.
You're struggling with her name, so I don't know.
You Google it. She's an ass one, but yeah. It was an experience though.
Mm-hmm. But it was just such a dope movie. Oh my God,
I need to see that.
See it so like I want to see it again. Like I literally left the movie theater, like I want to see it again. But people kind of like stayed as I was leaving because I'm assuming they showed something after the credits, which I didn't stay to watch. But people were literally like cheering and clapping, and I went on a Sunday matinee because it was just me, and the movie theater wasn't really that crowded. But, like, it was crowded enough to where, like, you heard people, like, clapping and shit. So, yeah. And I highly recommend seeing it in IMAX so that all of the sounds and stuff like that are intense. Because I can barely hear anyway sometimes. So, like, standard movies, I don't go to standard movies. Because even when I'm watching, like, Netflix and stuff, I need subtitles. Because I just can't hear when they're talking.
Hey, look, I couldn't hear you right now if I had a microphone in. But Viola Davis alone would make me go watch that movie because she's such a passionate actor.
She's so passionate. And every movie that she's in, she's crying.
Oh, yeah. She's crying. With the snot.
With the snot. And she literally, when she's doing all of that, the movie's
Oh, yeah. It's hitting. It's hitting, yeah. Yes. I need to check that out.
It was so good. Highly recommend watching.
Have you seen that Little Mermaid movie?
It didn't come out yet. It comes out next year.
I didn't know. Yeah, did you see the trailer for it?
I did. With Haley.
Yes.
Haley Bailey.
I think I saw a small clip and I thought she killed that song. Whatever was the.
It made me tear up.
Yes, a part of a new. I forget the song.
A Whole New World.
Yes, man. I was like, oh no, she killed that.
Yeah, but that was like a big thing online where like people were saying, oh, she's black and she has dreads.
It was a lot
It's
with
a
that.
fictional character.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. You know how it
is it that serious?
Yeah, you know how it is.
But I'm going to watch it. Like, I'm going to see that. I'm going to see the new Avatar movie that comes out in December. We done waited how many years for that?
Avatar too.
Is that almost 20 years?
I don't know, man. It's time to watch that, though. Yes.
Yeah, the old one is back in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right. They did put the old one back in theaters. Yes.
Yes, the old one is back in theaters. Honestly, I hope it's good just because I feel like... Are you a big fan of The Matrix?
Yeah, I watched that last one.
Did you see the last one that came out like...
Resurrection?
Yes. Was it 10 years after the second one?
I know the first one came out in 99, I think.
There's 1 and 2. The third one was the last one.
Yeah.
But I thought it was okay.
Me too. I got lost a little bit.
It was kind of confusing, but I didn't think we had to wait that long for it because like they just seemed like a little too old for me. So the fact that with Avatar, it probably was about like 15, 20 years since the last one, like the first one.
Yeah. And
you can't tell that like a freaking alien is older, because they are supposed to be like on an alien planet. They're blue characters and stuff like that. So like I don't think that would play a part of them waiting so long and like you seeing that. But apparently, because I think James Cameron. Yes. James Cameron is the director, producer, and all of that. His whole thing was he waited so long was because the effects or something that he wanted to use wasn't available back then.
Oh, so I heard that.
Yeah. So this one in December, this shit better be like mind blowing.
You know what? You've seen the first one. I've seen the first one in IMAX.
I love the first one.
I seen it in 3D.
I've seen it like twice.
Yeah, and I felt like I was in there. I'm like, damn, I want to be blue with a tail. Shit, where my bird at? Let me connect with this. You know what I mean? So I was in it, man.
No, the shit is lit. Like even to this day, like I love watching that movie because it's just so like surreal and just like how much in depth they give you of being on an alien planet and how like they're all connected to like that tree and how connected they are to each other. Like I just love the whole concept of the movie. True. So if this second one doesn't make me be like, yo, I'm so glad I waited this long. Like this shit was mind blowing. I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah. No, I definitely connected with it on another level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, they blue, but they black. That was me. I was like, they blue, but they black.
I feel like they was black.
I was like, they blew Africa. They like, they.
Yeah,
I was
because
there.
the lady, the girl.
Oh, Zoe
Sonata?
No.
Saldana?
That's not butcher her name. Zoe Saldana.
Marvin be knowing.
On point.
Yes, like
But
she's obviously black.
Yeah, I think she's Dominican though. You know what? Don't quote me.
She's from Passaic.
What?
She's from Jersey.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I thought so.
That's dope. I didn't know that. That's so dope.
But I always felt that it had like that kind of like that kind of background. So you
think the avatars were black?
Oh, they was blue.
No, but if they was people, like humans.
Oh, if they had to like make it humans, it would definitely be like based in Africa somewhere. For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
You know why? I just feel like any type of like not supernatural, but like any type of being that is just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like they run shit.
Yeah.
And like they're just a better race. It seems like
they
stem from Africa.
Yeah, it felt like
Speaking
it's based
of
there.
Africa, the new Wakanda Forever comes out in November.
Oh, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for that?
I did see the trailer, which I need to watch again.
That makes me tear up.
Yeah.
Just because it literally brings me back to when Chadwick Boseman was like passed away. Like everything just seemed so sad, and like we were all kind of mourning because of his loss. So whenever I watch that trailer, it just brings me back to that time. Yeah. So I already know when I go see that in the movies, like I'm gonna be crying. Yeah. Like dead ass.
Yeah. No, same here. It's first thought. It comes to him when watching that. I'll watch it, but it's gonna be the thought of him, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
Sippy sip.
Oh my god. Okay.
Shout out to Ringside for these Long Islands.
You almost finished yours. You know what's crazy?
It's like ice and liquor at this point.
I've never finished a Ringside drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is a pina colada, so it's not as strong, but like I'm usually up to here and I have to throw it out.
Really?
Because I'm lit.
No,
but this is okay.
I mean, you need to shake yours up a little bit because it's all liquor at the bottom and like colada at the top.
I think that's water. Like it's the melted ice.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they don't really taste like liquor no more. It just tastes like coconut.
Yeah. No, they did it. I love these cups. I love that they give you to-go cups from the go.
Yeah, from the Chinese spot.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That they put their wonton soup in.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, chicken noodle soup. I got this in the cup a few times.
Yeah, we got our drinks in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chicken broth.
Okay.
I went there a few times when I had COVID. When I had it.
Oh, you went... Wait, you went to the Chinese store while you had COVID to get soup?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go outside. You're supposed to get it delivered.
There. I'm like, if anybody know how to cure it, it's going... No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm playing.
You should have it delivered.
No, I went there. It was cool. It was like, you know what? They like, honestly, I wish I knew his name. Oh my God, I've been going to this store for years. I don't know his name. He like family. Like, yo, let me get that.
So they know your order when you come in.
Yeah, he know it. But I still, like, it's all respect there too. You know what I'm saying? I still ask for the same thing. I'll be like, yo, you know my order.
Oh,
nah, but when I was sick, he gave me like a chicken noodle soup and I like cure right up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no, their soup is really good and it cures everything. But speaking of, well, actually, I kind of want to wrap it up here because we do only have about 10 more minutes. Yeah. So, before we head out, I do want you to shout out your photography page and where people can find you if they want to check out your stuff. We networking today.
This is the first. So you can hold up now. Damn. All right. So
it's too much for you?
No, it ain't too much. So it's Art Jabbar.
Oh, you got real serious.
Let me make sure you get it right. It's RART_of_Jabbar, Jabbar on Instagram. You can find me there. Follow me on there.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, put it in the description. Don't check out my website because I said it down right now. So
I can do your website. I do websites.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But check me out. Follow me. If you guys need some work, just hit me up.
Yeah, if you need events or weddings or whatever the case, he got you with the photography.
Real cool. I'm passionate about what I do, so it's just all about moving forward. So
yes. Definitely. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast, and I really appreciate it for coming through because guys, if we're being honest, we probably would not have had an episode this week because of cough cough Aaron.
That's all good.
But thank you for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we are definitely gonna have you on here again because this was fun. Like, this was a great conversation.
Thank you so much.
And we are going to wrap it up here. I'm gonna put the Instagram page of We Outside Afterwork on Instagram, and in Aaron's voice, what does he say?
I didn't get
you don't even watch the podcast.
I didn't get me, Aaron. We outside.
We outside and we out. That's what he says.
There we go.
Thank you, guys.